Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the award winning Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love Consulting the Cards and Matters of the Heart. Both books are available from Llewellyn Books, available online wherever books are sold. And if you like my empowering approach to tarot and you're looking for the best gift, you can go to my website, ElliotOracle.com, where I have signed copies available of these books. And I'll also pick a card and write a personally inscribed message for you. It is time for this week's Oracle reveal. So, yesterday on my social media, I placed up a photo of three different animals and I asked you to use your intuition and just ask yourself which animal's calling to you, because that animal has your message. And the three animals were the hummingbird, the canary, and the horse. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal's getting caught in your head. It doesn't have to be your favorite animal. It just has to be the one that's tugging at your consciousness right now, because that animal has your message. For those of you who picked the hummingbird spirit, the card says, be here now. And hummingbird for me is an archetype of joy and celebration. And the be here now message could be that you really need to stop, be present, and absorb the joy in the present moment. A lot of times, hummingbird will come up in our lives when we're just going through life on automatic. We're not really paying attention to what we're doing. We're so in the future. We're so in the past. We're not really presently looking at what's going on. And instead of, thinking, well, one day I'll finally be happy when I can achieve this thing or this goal is finally realized, hummingbird is telling you to stop and to really absorb the joy in the moment. Maybe you need to look at how the sunlight reflects off of the leaves. Maybe you need to be aware of all the things that you've worked for and really absorb that. But I just feel for hummingbird, if you're attracted to it this week, it's really time to stop. It's time to find your joy in the present moment. First card for hummingbird is where it's best to place your focus. And appropriately enough, we have the joyful Three of Cups card. And this card shows the three graces from Greek mythology. They're also called the charities. And it's from the charities that we get our words in English charm, charisma, and character from. And what the three graces are saying is that it's time to apply your personal charisma to the present moment to raise the energy up. The three graces can also indicate that a lot of the mood that's surrounding you right now is dependent on you. You are totally responsible for what you're putting into the energy around you. And if you're not liking what you're seeing, three graces could be coming up to say, now it's time to infuse the present moment with more joy. You can give yourself what you want now. You don't have to wait to find that joy. You don't have to wait to be happy. And also, people that exhibit joy or that embody it, they are popular people because people like to feel good around them. So if you're just kind of like self-aware and you're noticing yourself just kind of shrunken down, making yourself small, or maybe even if you're just kind of trapped in a ruminating depression spiral, this Three of Cups is really telling you to get out of your head and to be expressive of your heart at this time and to elevate the energy. Second card is going to be advice from your inner wisdom this next week. And we got the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles shows the juggler. And there's these wavy waters behind him. And this is just saying that life is always going to send us waves. We have to stop taking it so personally, like, why is this happening to me? What is this about? The Two of Pentacles is telling you to expect it. Expect that things are going to be unexpected. And, same thing with the Three of Cups with the Two of Pentacles figure. You got the juggler who's an entertainer. He's taking life's lemons and making lemonade out of it. He's taking the adversity that he's experiencing and he's turning it into something entertaining. And so I just feel for you, this is a time where you really get to choose how you're going to respond to the triggers, the things that are happening, the unexpected events. Two of Pentacles is telling you to keep your sense of humor. And I just feel as well, it's about that energy that you're carrying with you. This is really going to inspire opportunity for you. So if you can still find that way back toward a sense of flexibility, good nature, even smiling when your heart is breaking, these cards could really say that you could elevate the energy around you and the way forward might make itself known. And then the mythic archetype that's going to help you this next week, look at that. We got the goddess of wisdom, Athena. Athena could be just telling you that all of is going according to, this divine plan. And it's time for you to just absorb the wisdom in the present moment. Maybe that unexpected thing is teaching you something important about yourself. Wisdom comes from experience. And experience isn't just all the joyful experiences, it's what we do with those other experiences as well. So, Athena is really telling you to look at your whole journey, know that you're exactly where you need to be at this time. And she also has that owl, which is able to see in the shadow, to see through the dark. So, anything that you're perceiving as dark or challenging or difficult, I really feel this card is really guiding you back toward what's the nugget of wisdom in this? What is the thing that it's teaching you? It's time to be self aware of that. Next, we got the Canary spirit, and this card says, sing your own song. And Canary could definitely say that this is a time to be attracted to music, but also singing your own song is sort of like marching to the beat of your own drummer, not being afraid to shine, not being afraid to stand out. The Canary is brightly colored yellow, so he's not really hiding out. And also his voice is so striking. It catches the attention of all that hear it. This could be a time where you're really mindful of how you're using your voice. First card for Canary is where it's best to place your focus. And we have the ambitious Two of Wands card. And on this card, we can see a lord of a manor. He's got everything he could possibly want. He's got a castle and a view, but he's not satisfied with this. He's got the globe in his hand. He wants the world. He wants a little bit more. And so this card is excellent if it's saying it's time to level up. It's time to really, get something going. It's time to realize an ambition. And in this way, it can be helpful. Maybe it's time to apply for something that's really going to help you elevate. Maybe it's time to really up your own game. But where the Two of Wands can be a little bit difficult is it has an insatiable quality to it. And it's like, no matter how much this Lord of the Manor achieves, no matter how much he acquires, he's still not satisfied with it. He's still not present, much like that Hummingbird message. And so I just feel with this card, it's so important for you, yes, to strive for great things, but also to stop and to smell the roses, look at where you've come from. Two of Wands can also indicate that it's time to grow or it's time to stretch. And so wands in the tarot can traditionally be a little uncomfortable to deal with because they govern our growing pains, the things that make us stretch beyond our comfort zone. Next is going to be advice from your inner wisdom. And look at that, the Two of Wands and then the Three of Wands. And I promise you, I did shuffle these cards thoroughly before the reading today. But Three of Wands could be coming up when we got a 2 and a 3. It could indicate there is a sequence. There is this elevation. Maybe that leveling up message of the Two of Wands is really present here. Here on the Three of Wands, we see the figure who's looking out over the sea, and the waters are glowing orange from sunrise or sunset. This could indicate that the sun is setting on your old way, but it's rising on the new. This is a card of openness to change. And also the Three of Wands for me is just such a hopeful card. It just shows that broad landscape. And it's basically saying that despite your worst fears, nothing's been screwed up yet in your life. There's still time. You can still do these great things. And these wands cards, wands, they got the leaves that sort of branch out at the tops. It's time for you to branch out as well. It's time for you to stretch and grow. Even if it means leaving your comfort zone behind you, even if it means that you're making yourself uncomfortable as you're striving for this new thing. And then also, he's holding the world in this card, and now he's looking out into the world, and he's about to embark into it. So I just get this sense with these two cards here. It's like the plan is in place, you're ready to go, and now you need to just follow your heart. The mythic archetype that's going to help you this next week is Themis. And she's the goddess of the natural order of things, the divine order. She is associated with justice, but most importantly of all, she's also associated with balance. And Themis is just telling you that it's time for you to keep all in balance with you. It might also be a time when you're kind of weighing both the equal measures of sorrow and joy in your own life, and you're still deciding to move forward anyway, no matter what you've been dealing with. So I just feel like with Themis, she's saying, when you're down, you'll be up again. And when you're up, you're going to experience some downs later. It's all part of the balance. It's all part of that great journey, that wisdom. And yet you're just needing to still be open to growing, to learning, and to expanding. And then finally, we're going to go into the horse animal spirit. And this card says, freedom is yours. And horses, you just think of them running freely on the plains. This could be a time to let your spirit soar. It might also be a time for you to allow yourself to feel free this next week. A lot of us have our freedom, but we just take it for granted. We don't really use it to its fullest potential. What could you do that could remove some sort of limit in your own path this next week? What could you do to free your own spirit, to let it soar? The horse is really guiding you toward that. First card for horse is where it's best to play your seer focus. And there we got that Eight of Swords, which is like the opposite of freedom, isn't it? We see the woman who's tied up in knots. And, swords in the tarot, they represent our thoughts. And so the Eight of Swords is a symbol. And what it's a symbol of is thoughts that are disempowering, fearful, paralyzing, that make you feel scared or stuck or trapped in some sort of way. The Eight of Swords is really telling you that it's time to be aware of anything that's keeping you stuck, anything that's going against that truth that you're free. And in fact, the woman on this card could free herself whenever she wants to, even though it doesn't look like it at face value. I mean, she's literally inches away from these swords, and she can take those swords or thoughts and repurpose them to cut the ropes that are binding her up. And so the Eight of Swords will often tell you to be mindful of where your thoughts are. Are they tying you up in knots? Are they fueling your fears? Are they limiting you in some way? It's time to shift how you're thinking and free yourself from those disempowering beliefs. Next is going to be advice from your inner wisdom. And boy, horse is going through it this next week when we got the Tower card. And a lot of people look at these two cards and they go, oh no, these are terrible cards. My week's going to be awful. And yet for me, the darker cards, the challenging cards in tarot, they are where your breakthrough is waiting. And they are the deeply transformative cards if you can apply their lesson in an empowering way. The Tower is showing these two figures who are being ejected from it. And the Tower is a symbol for us kind of being in our head. The Tower is a symbol for denial. And it's like, la, 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 I'm fine. Everything's okay. I'm just going to keep going along with my life. And I don't really need to change anything. And, I'm just going to pretend that pain isn't really there. And yet that lightning bolt is the lightning bolt the universe will always inevitably send to us to eject us out of our denial, to have us face something. And what is the Tower if not a prison? And the ejection from the Tower, the crumbling of the prison, is that really a bad thing? Tarot is a potent pack of symbols, and it's so important that you don't freak out when you see a symbol, but instead you really absorb what the deeper thing is that it's trying to teach you. And this might be a time for you where you're just aware of what's shaky in your own life. You might be wanting to face your own fears, your own anxieties, and really give yourself some grace. It's also a time to be free. The horse is saying freedom is yours. And we have these two cards which have to do with trying to find that way toward freedom for you. So I just feel like it's time to let go of the old tower, the old prison, the thing that's built on an unstable foundation. And it's time to rebuild, pick up the pieces, and free yourself. And then the mythic archetype that's going to help you is Hermes. He's the messenger god. He's also the god of thinking, logic. And, a lot of this, it's almost like he's telling me in my ear, it's all in your head. What you might need to know this next week is that it's all in your head. It's all in how you're perceiving things. And you could be unlimited and magical like Hermes with his magic wand and change your circumstances immediately. But you need to be empowered in your mind. You need to confront those things that are trying to overthrow your mind. And you're really needing to find yourself back in that place of empowerment. And then finally, Hermes is the messenger god, so he could say, expect a message, expect little signs or signals. Maybe even in getting this reading today, there's a little message that's coming through to you that you need to be aware of. But it's important to really listen to what's being expressed to you at this time. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can always check me out for a one-on-one tarot session with me at elliotoracle.com. And like I said earlier, I also have my books available there, signed copies, which I will inscribe personally to you after choosing a card. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found it useful, please do share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But most important of all, I hope that you got a message that can help you move forward in your own life this week. And until next week, I hope you all do take care. So I'll see you next time.